Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shubhavati Vashakadesha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the seventh chapter is a very nice chapter. In fact, Prabhupada says right in the beginning that the nature of the Krishna consciousness is fully described in this seventh chapter. Okay, so let us study this chapter. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Sakta Manapaka Yogam Yunjam Madashaya Asamshayam Samagrama Yatagya Siddhashura. Just explain now. This is a verse. If you see, Prabhupada gave classes in different verses. In this verse, he gave the maximum number of classes. If you want to see verse, whenever Prabhupada was in a place, they said, just give a class on either any verse. Prabhupada took this because it's a shloka for a devotee. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, again, Supreme Lord is speaking. Now Krishna Vacha, he has said Shri Bhagavana to emphasize Supreme Lord is speaking. You see, right from the beginning of Gita, Shri Bhagavan. Maya Asakta. Asakti means, we all know Asakti. Asakti means affection. I have affection for you. Correct? Shraddha, Sadhu, Sangha, Bhajan, Ki, Ananda, Nivritti, Ruchi, Asakti. There also comes affection, attachment. So he's saying, you should have what? Asakta Manaha. You should have mind attached to whom? Mind. And to me only, not anything else. Today we are attached to so many things, but this is beautiful. Maya Sakta. Your mind should be what nature? Attached to me. Who? Partha is addressing Arjuna. Yoga Yunjam Madashaya. This kind of yoga. Right? Completely take my shelter. That is what Krishna's shelter means. Krishna consciousness. Robert translated Madashaya as Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we forget what is Krishna consciousness. Madashaya. Taking shelter of Krishna is called Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not some, like impersonal, it's some kind of consciousness I would let you know. Madashaya, that is Krishna consciousness. The Prabhupada is right on that. Madashaya means Krishna consciousness, completely taking shelter of Krishna. Sometimes we think, what is Krishna consciousness? No, simple here. Madashaya, taking shelter of Krishna, not anything else. Madashaya, Maya Sakta. Be attached to me, take my shelter. Asamshayam. Now, if you do this, there is in both Quran and Bible, a statement is there. I have so much to teach you. I can give you the exact reference also that I have in my presentation. That I have so much to teach you, but you are not ready now. Both have said. Muhammad also said, and Jesus also said, I want to teach you so much more, but you are not ready. But here Krishna says, no, Samagram, I am going to teach you fully. How fully? Asamshayam, without any doubt. No doubt? No doubt. So if you practice this kind of yoga, that fully attached to me, completely taking my shelter, what is going to happen to you? Asamshayam, without any doubt. Samagram, completely. Who? Mam. So Krishna is saying, you will know me without any doubt, fully. Yatha gyasasi tashuno. I am to know this in completeness without any doubt. Arjuna, please hear. And Prabhupada spends full paragraph in this purport explaining what is this tat shuno. So today Prabhupada says people are not even eager to hear about Krishna. How they will develop, into devotion service. Following Krishna, leading our life by the will of Krishna. And that is one of the most beautiful things, correct? I am living my life by who? By the will of Krishna. What Krishna wants, that is my mission of life. Forget about will of Krishna, they are not even ready to hear because things begins by hearing. Unless somebody hears, how it will start? Anything for that matter. Hearing is the first principle. Correct? If somebody starts hearing, then accepting comes after that. Suppose we say somebody has to accept Krishna. Without hearing, how is he going to accept? First hear, no? First hear. So hearing is the first principle. And whom you are hearing? You are hearing Krishna. And then Prabhupada the purport goes about the shloka, which was how somebody just by hearing Krishna Katha or hearing from Krishna, either saying Krishna Katha means Krishna's words or about Krishna. Krishna's words in Bhagavad Gita and about Krishna in Bhagavata. The Prabhupada says the life mission should be here these two Krishna Kathas. So if somebody hears Krishna Katha, what happens? Shanavatam Sakatha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana. So Prabhupada explained the whole sequence in Bhagavata. And Prabhupada was going to America. He was in great anxiety. How is going to fulfill his Guru's order? Sometimes Prabhupada used to say in India, at Guru Maharaj, right? Even 1936 he had got an order. And some people met Prabhupada in Calcutta in the park. And they say, what are you doing? My Guru Maharaj has given me a very big, difficult, big order. He is always in that meditation. It's actually impossible order to do. And he is there in the ship, and when he writes this poem, he knows how it will accomplish the mission of the spiritual master. Shanavatam Sakata. Not by any magic, not by any other. Shanavatam Sakata Krishna. Shanavatam means if people hear about Krishna Katha, gradually their heart will be purified. And as their heart is purified, they will take shelter of Krishna. He knows this is the process of work. So he already knows that. So here when Krishna is saying Tashuru, Prabhupada says in purport, what a great fortune it is. Krishna is telling about himself. Why not here? The people say so many things. When Krishna is explaining about, just like somebody may say so many things about ourselves. And we go there, so why you are believing all the rumors? Now when I am telling, now you accept what I am telling. So similarly, people say so many things. How to become Krishna conscious? And know Krishna without any doubt and full. Krishna is saying, please hear. How much now we should be careful to hear because Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Supreme Personality of the Spirit. Correct? This is, we should be very now keen to hear what Krishna has to say. So you can read the translation. Just the translation.
Now hear, O son of Pritha, Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt.
So we finished the first verse. Mother is mind recording. Yeah.
Having the translation.
Yeah.
I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge both phenomenal and nominal, by knowing which there shall remain nothing further to be known.
In fact, the devotees are doing the PI service. There's a lot of things there. Phenomenal. I gave a long explanation one day what is phenomenal. Phenomenal is a word which is used in philosophy in the sense that what I am seeing today, it is just an experience that I am having. I am living in a world of experience. I do not know what's the reality behind it. Just like I say, I am seeing the mic in front of me. But actually, it's not the mic which is going inside my eye. What I am seeing is the light from this. If there is no light here, I can't see the mic. Correct? So what I am seeing is not the mic. I am seeing the light patch on my retina. Correct? What I am seeing. But even I am not seeing that. I am not even experiencing the light patch. I am experiencing something goes in my brain, some fire, neurons are firing. Correct? Finally, I don't know what happens. I experience the mic in front of me. What it is in the front, I don't know. Somebody may say, I can touch the mic. Don't know. And then again, there is the same process is going on. Correct? So this is called actually, we live in a world of experience, which is called phenomenal world. In simple terms, material. But Prabhupada, he has used this philosophical word, means it has a deep meaning. This is a word of experience which is used in philosophy. It is called phenomenal. As a full knowledge I am going to give you, Krishna says the phenomenal world, and nominal refers to the spiritual world. So in the mota, both material and spiritual world, everything I am going to tell you now. Who is going to tell? Krishna, the greatest of everything. By knowing which, there is nothing else actually to know. There is matter and spirit, that's all. So Krishna is saying, I am going to tell you everything about both material and spiritual world. For there is nothing more for you to be known of. And that's the beauty of Bhagavad. The whole variety of the spirit and whole details, everything is explained. So, yes, this is a famous shloka we will chant. Manushyanam sahasreshu kashyati yatati siddhe yatatam siddhanam kashima vedi tattva. So before Krishna is going to tell, Krishna says that actually very few people know about me. He says, I am going to tell you everything. Very few people know. Why? Manushyanam sahasreshu. Among thousands of people, Kashyat yatati siddhe, one man may become perfect. The siddha has been defined generally as a person who has, withdrawn himself from sense gratification. Understood, I am not body, I am a spirit soul. This is the definition of a siddha purusha. So among thousands of people, most of the people will say, let us understand something about, ourselves. He is not interested to understand. So among thousands we will find. Okay? In Mangalore city, how many people are there? There will be 6 lakh people are there in Mangalore city now. And how many people are interested to know about Krishna? Very few. Okay. Total, if you take a head count. So among thousands, Kashyap, someone may be there. Just like Queen Kunti also said, Kechit. And here is Kashyap. Where somebody wants to. So among 1,000 there is one man, 1 in 1,000. And then Yatatam Siddha, even the people who wants to know Siddha means at least they are free from sense gratification. They are pure, they are understood, they are not body, they are spirit soul, they are Siddha person. Among them, very rare is one person who knows me. So you can say 1,000, 1 in a million. Very rare. Kashyap Mam Vedi Tattva. So Krishna is saying this is very extraordinary to know me. And it's very rare some people want to know this knowledge. Yeah.
Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth.
Prabhupada gives anyway the reason also of this and the purpose. He says the famous verse he quotes. Why is it people miss out understanding Krishna? Because of this. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Bhavet Graham Sevo Mukhe Jivado Swayameva Spurati Yadaha. This is from Padma Purana. Now what this verse says is that anything about, why is it that very rarely somebody knows about Krishna? Because Krishna is revealed only by devotion service, which nobody takes. Krishna is revealed only by devotion service. Just like when you are chanting Hare Krishna, when you are hearing about Krishna, we are doing devotion service. I was explaining this point, but it should be emphasized. Just like when you come to temple to attend a class, it is preaching. How it is preaching? Because anybody asks you where you are, I was in temple. So you are telling him how to spend the evening. See, by practical example, people understand. Giving katha, nobody is interested. But when a practical example you give, say evening, Sunday evening, we can spend like this, it's preaching. People got an idea. Oh, I can also spend the evening like that. Okay? That's also preaching. When we eat prasada, that is also preaching. Because people get an idea, oh, I can eat prasada. So this is also practical preaching. So now this devotion service, which is there, Shri Krishna Namadi, beginning from the name. First thing in spiritual life is the name of the Lord. Just like any person who comes, I say, Mr. XYZ, he says, I am going to come today for Sunday program. So I don't know that person, I just received a phone call, some Mr. XYZ. When I see, first thing is the name, next is the form. Then I see, oh, he's carrying this mobile. Nowadays we are very conscious which mobile person is carrying. Or he came in that car. Generally that nobody sees nowadays which car. Mobile everybody sees. So name, paraphernalia we see, what dress he wears, we see he has come with his friends. like that. And then he tells about himself, I'm an engineer, I'm a doctor, I'm doing this business. So one by one, personality starting with the name. So Atha Shri Krishna Namani. Na Bhavet Graham Indriye. Anything about the Lord starting from the name cannot be understood by the gross senses. Therefore, including Siddha Purusha, nobody can understand Krishna. How is he understood? This is the key. It's like you have an alvena, you need a key. So the key to understand Krishna, the secret of Bhagavad Gita or the secret of understanding Krishna is Sevon Mukha. There are different mukha. One is called Bahir Mukha. And this is called Sevon Mukha. Sevon Mukha is service attitude. My Lord, I follow and I respect. Please, I like to serve. Sevon Mukha. Seva ki chati nagar. When you get developed into that, let me serve Krishna. So when you develop the Sevon Mukha, and how does Sevon Mukha begin then? Jivado, from the tongue. And what can you do from the tongue? Your service begins from the tongue. One thing we can always do very easily with the tongue is what? We can chant names of Krishna. Very easy. And one very, very easy thing, we can take Krishna Prasad. When you do these two things from the tongue, tongue's business is what? To talk and to eat. When these two things are engaged in Krishna's service, Sevon Mukhe Jivado, Swayameva Spurati Adaha. Krishna manifests. So Krishna manifests when he is served beginning from the tongue. Okay, so this is the whole spiritual life is actually tongue. And if we can use this tongue in Krishna's service, Krishna will reveal. People say they want to see Krishna, not through the eyes, through the tongue. Very simple example. Suppose we give you some sweet rice, correct? What do you say? I want to see what is the taste. We are seeing the taste through the tongue. So similarly, Krishna is also seen through the tongue. If you want to realize Krishna, it is through the holy name. First thing you will realize about the Lord, Nama. Nama, the beginning from the name. The name of the Lord is spiritual. So, next. Yeah. Bhumi apu analo vayo. Brahmano buddhi evacha. Ahankara iti amme. Vinna prakriti ashtana. Ashta means 8. Now, yeah, you can read the
Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 comprise my separated material energies.
correct? So that's all actually material energy is earth, water, fire, air, ether. Mind, intelligence, false ego. Out of this 8, science knows only 4. Earth, water, fire, air. They don't know anything about ether and forget anything about mind, intelligence, false ego. They have no idea. They just mix up mind with the brain actually. Mind is separate energy. Correct? Intelligence is separate and ahankara is still separate. And Prabhupada has given in the purport how this 8 can be divided into 24. That we can study. Actually there are 24 subdivisions coming, but originally it is the same. Now it is called separated. So what is separated? Prabhupada gave an example. He said just suppose we are recording this class. Now independent of my knowledge, this class can be played. Anybody can hear, I am not even aware. It is called separated. Prabhupada was giving a class, it is tape recorder, we are recording the class now. So Prabhupada said, this is like my energy, the class, all the wave, everything up and down, it is your energy which is being recorded. He said, it is my energy, but separated. So this is called the separated energy of the Lord. But spirit, soul, Atma is not separated. There is eternal loving relation between the soul and the Lord. So that will come in the next shloka. Apareyamitastu anya prakritim vidhi me para jiva bhuta mahabaho vedam dharate jagat. So Krishna is explaining apareyam. Para means greater, apara means inferior. So apart from this anya, apart from this inferior energy which he has listed, 8, there is one para, there is a superior energy of me. Prakriti is energy. What is that? The Jiva Bhuta, this conditioned soul. We. There is Jiva Bhuta, Brahma Bhuta, cigarette Bhuta. Some people say I am Brahma Bhuta, but actually smoking cigarette, cigarette Bhuta. The Jiva Bhuta means a living entity which is in the conditioned situation, that is we. Mahabhava is referring to Arjuna, the mighty I. Yayedam dharite jagat. And that actually matter has no creative capacity. Now this mic is here, it will lie here for eternity unless somebody comes and pushes it. Okay, that is a situation. So that is matter. Matter has no creative capacity. But it is spirit, it is the living entities who are actually utilizing the resources in the world. So therefore, Krishna is saying apart from the 8 material, which he has said, separated energies, there is one higher energy of mind, which is spirit. Jiva Bhuta Mahabhavo, that is spiritual, which is Param. Param means yeah.
Besides this inferior nature, O mighty Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mind, which are all living entities who are struggling with material nature and are sustaining the universe.
Again, they are struggling and sustaining.
Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both its origin and dissolution.
Because everything is a combination of matter and spirit in this world. So Krishna is saying that everything, the material and spiritual world, have the origin and dissolution. Yes. You know, Krishna is saying, I am going to explain to you whole material, everything I am going to explain. No, the explanation is going on. Yeah. This is a famous shloka. Matta parataramana anya kenchidasya dhananjaya mayi sarvamidam protam sudhe manigana iva. So matta parataram na anya. There is no truth higher to me. Kenchidasya dhananjaya. Arjuna, nothing like this exists. And I permeate everything, just like a person. Strong on its right. Many people have made that picture. Krishna is now. Many ask this question is quite common. People ask, who is father of love? Or how you say Krishna came. What caused Krishna came to come? We say he is my father. Finally, Krishna is the father. Who is Krishna's father? And they think they ask very intelligent question. No. Krishna is saying there is nothing higher. That's it. I am the Father. In Brahma Samhita also Krishna says Anadi. So they make two mistakes actually. Number one, they don't understand this fact. The spiritual world is different from the material world. Here in this world, everything has to have a cause. Everything is relative. That's why it's called relative. That is called absolute. Relative means my existence is dependent on something else. But absolute world is not like that. So that's called Kupa Mandukanaya. We should not put what we are seeing with this, our material mind and senses, whatever we are grasping the material world. We cannot put that, extrapolate that to the spiritual world, which is completely in a different way. That is a different time and space there, different situations where everything is eternal. Not only Krishna does not change. Even you are a child, you are also a child only. At that age you stay. You don't change. So there is no truth superior to me. There is nothing higher than Krishna. Some people say that, higher than Krishna is the personal. No, Krishna is saying, I am the highest. Me. Me is the person. Person is the highest. Is that behind Krishna something impersonal? He said, no. Krishna is saying, I am the highest. Rasoham apsa kaunteya Brahmasmi shashi suryaya Pranava sarva vedeshu Shabdake paurushanishu Rasoham apsa kaunteya. I am the taste of water. Now, this is an impersonal way of knowing the Lord, and again the devotees are doing, they have huge explanation of this. But in a simple, yes, and is anybody who does not drink water? Everybody drinks water. So when you drink water, just remember the taste is Krishna. So that way you become Krishna conscious. Pravasmi Sashi Suryaya. Now who is the person? See, you want to see Krishna. You have to see Krishna his way, not your way. Now suppose you want to meet the, in India, whether we ever like to meet. You want to meet somebody because you want to make some politician name, we will be frustrated. Because we don't want to meet him. But we are from type forced to meet. The situation is. Suppose you want to meet a big personality, you can. You cannot meet him just by your force. You have to meet him this way. You will have a process. You take appointment to the secretary and then you can meet him. Correct? There is a process. You can't just sometimes you go to land up in somebody's place. If he's a busy man, what he says, please, this is the way I cannot meet you. My whole day is scheduled. You have to process it there. Take appointment to the secretary. You cannot say, no. I have decided my way to meet you. Say, get out, please. Your way, I don't care. You have to meet me my way. So you have to meet Krishna his way, and he's teaching you how to reach him. He's saying, I am the supreme. There is nothing beyond me. Now, how to reach me? Krishna is because we are experiencing. I am not experiencing Krishna, but I am experiencing taste of water. Every day I drink water. And who is the person who doesn't drink water? Everybody is correct. But Krishna says that taste is me. Remember me like that now. Correct? You can not in the beginning you don't see, you perceive. This is the way you can perceive Krishna. You can know the taste of water is because of Krishna. In that way, it represents Krishna. It is impersonal representation of Krishna. Similarly, light and sun. Who is the one who does not see sun? Everybody sees sun. There is Krishna. You remember Krishna in the sense that it is Krishna's energy. You see the moon. Who is not seeing moon every day? Everybody sees the moon in the night. Yes. So these are very prominent features in this world. Krishna is saying, by them, gradually, you taking giant steps in advancing in Krishna consciousness, when you recognize that these things are connected to me. Just like in a house, child is not there. Mother sees a small thing of the child, even a shoe. She starts remembering the child. Okay? Because attachment. So similarly, in the same way, by seeing this thing, gradually we understand Krishna. And if you want to even analyze, yes, you can understand all these things are coming because of Krishna. The taste in the water, the light of the sun and moon, nobody can create sun and moon. All these are coming because of Krishna. That is his kindness. We can understand how Krishna is supplying us. We need water to survive. We need sunlight, moonlight to survive. Everything Krishna is providing. Pranava Sarva Vedesha. Now, people when they want to know knowledge, they study the Vedas. But in the Vedas, every mantra starts with Om. Correct? That is called Pranava. Krishna says, I am that. That refers to me. So that is also done now. So you cannot say, some people say Vedas means something else. Vedas start with Om. Om represents to whom? Represents to Krishna. Over. So Krishna is saying that is me. Shabda ke paurusham nishu. And I am the sound in the. So who is not hearing some sound? So all these representations of Krishna, they're constantly surrounded by its supply. The translation.
O son of Kunti, Arjuna, and the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras, and the sound in the ether, and ability in man.
Yeah, Paurusham, that ability in man. So in beginning we see like that. I am the origin.
I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penances of all the ascetics.
Okay. So I am the original fragrance of earth. We smell so many, people put so many scents. Yeah, that is also Krishna. Yeah, Prabhupada even said sometimes Prabhupada landed up in America and people came. Some of them were drunkards also. So Prabhupada said, yes, when you drink every time, remember that is Krishna. Your taste is Krishna. Gradually pick up wherever you are situated. At least start remembering Krishna. And I am the heat in the fire. Yeah, who is not there, who doesn't use heat properly. That is also Krishna. Because all energies are coming from Krishna. So in the beginning, you see in that way. You see in the beginning, we can't see Krishna's personality. We are not ready for that. So we can see Krishna. I am the life of all that lives. Yes, Krishna is the life. Krishna is the Paramatma. And even the Atma that we have finally is coming from Krishna. And I am the penance of all the yesterdays. So the very determination to do tapasya, that also comes from Krishna. See, Prabhupada is saying in the purport, the duration of man's life is also due to Krishna. Therefore, by the grace of Krishna, man can prolong his life and diminish it. Krishna conscious active in. Point is Krishna conscious active in every sphere.
O son of Krita, know that I am the original seed of all existences. the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men.
Okay. Even the bija, even Brahma, when he has to create the 84 lakh species in a bija form, the seed of that is given to Brahma. The very idea how he has to do it. Bija. Bija refers to the original idea or the fundamental, just like you put a seed. Karma bija, jnana bija, we say bhakti lata bija. So the bija of all the even creation, how he has to do, is given by Krishna to Brahma. So he is the original seed for everything. Brahma just develops on that. In fact, after the Brahma is born, he is completely confused how he's going to do. He prays to the Lord and Lord gives him the visa. He gives him the idea how he should create the better world. Then Brahma develops on that. He can so this way, he's the bija Brahma.
I am the strength of the strong, reward of passion and desire. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles. O Lord of the Bharatas, Arjuna.
It's very important. In that sex life which is not contrary, because in the material world, we say that only brahmachari Krishna can be Krishna conscious. No, Grihastha can also be Krishna conscious. But they should remember this, which is not contrary to religious principle. Then they have to study. We don't have to study. It's for them to study. What is religious? See, every ashrama has to take care of his ashrama. Grihastha ashrama, he has to go and study that. Now, what is in religious principle? Krishna is saying, yes, that is sanctioned by me. Like I give an example, there was Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a disciple called, what was his name? His name was Chota Haridas. And he went to collect rice from somebody. And he just lustfully at that time glanced at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, threw him out of his association. So much so he committed suicide. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was informed that he committed suicide, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, you have to take reaction for all activities. So harder than the stone. But another devotee came to him and he had given, his wife was pregnant and later he met his, I had given him birth to children. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was inquiring about how was the child, how was your wife, health is okay. Right? Here he just thought about it and this person had sex and produced a child. Correct? Sometimes people don't understand this. So how you say, this is too much, no, you are so hard on him that, no. Dharma aviruddha, this is hypocrisy. Nobody likes hypocrisy. Correct? So you have to be grihastha, be grihastha. You have to be brahmachari, be brahmachari, but don't do something strange. There was one more example. Once what happened, one lady had to cross a river and one person came there. Two brahmacharis were there. River just like raining now, so rivers become overflooded. Certain areas of the river are shallow. You can just walk and cross, but it is now difficult to cross. And that lady, there is no bridge many times. People just walk and cross. That is the situation. So the lady came. She was pregnant, and she cannot take that exertion. So she requested the two brahmacharis about to cross the river. Can you help me? So both looked at each other, they're brahmacharis. No one is there. So one of them said, okay, come, mother, come. And she sat on him like this. Imagine a brahmachari is touching a woman. So. And he crossed over, maybe 10 minutes over, and she went away. She thanked him. And after 2 hours, they reached their matha, wherever the brahmachari was staying. And the brahmachari said, I can't even imagine how you could do that. The brahmachari said, see, I carried the woman on my head for 10 minutes. You are carrying your head for 2 hours. Correct? So in that way, your grihastha can be a better brahmachari. Grihastha is also called a brahmachari, provided he is according to religious principles. Prabhupada had in his movement sometimes this problem that brahmachari started criticizing the grihasthas. At that time, Prabhupada gave this example and blasted them. He said, don't say like that. Everybody is doing devotional service, don't say you are liar. And because you are commenting on them and their sex life, Prabhupada said, looks like you are thinking about sex more than they are thinking. So in that, they used to tease the grihasthas, So this natural, it happened and Prabhupada had to correct
being, be they of goodness, passion or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of this material nature.
Okay, so all of us, it's like example is given of a cloud. Cloud is the energy of the sun. Because cloud is produced because sun heat, correct? Now, we can get covered by the cloud. Sun doesn't get affected by the cloud. Cloud is the energy of Krishna, but it can cover us here. But not the sun. Sun is not affected by the cloud. So, Maya is Krishna's energy. Goodness, passion, ignorance are Krishna's energy. They can cover us, but they don't cover Krishna. Okay? I am in everything, but I am independent. Sun is independent. He is not affected by the cloud. We are affected by the cloud. Because of the cloud, we are not able to see the sun.
Deluded with the three modes, goodness, passion and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible.
It is because of Maya we don't know Krishna. Krishna is saying, because you are in Maya. Therefore Prabhupada used to say somebody, anybody comes to you, when a scientist comes, Prabhupada used to ask, are you Krishna conscious? He said, no, I am not Krishna conscious. Prabhupada used to say, you are a rascal. He said, how can you say that, Swami? Yes, we have a test tube, one test tube, like we have a litmus test, that's all. We immediately make a decision based on that. Because if somebody is not Krishna conscious, Krishna is saying he is in Maya, that's it. Yeah? If somebody, are you Krishna conscious? No, you are in Maya. That means you are a rascal. Rascal means you are an idiot. You are in illusion. The whole world does not know me who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Krishna is above the modes. Just like the sun is above the clouds and inexhaustible. This is the famous shloka. We should know this. Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mamayevi Prapadyante Mayametam Tarantite. So here Krishna is saying Devi Esha Gunamayi. This material energy is Mama Maya, is my energy. Durataya, you can't cross over it. It's not easy to cross. Just like a jail, you can't cross over it. Mam evi prapadyante. Only if you take my shelter, Maya metam tarantite, you can cross over. So Prabhupada says many points in this. Let you read the translation.
This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
Previous shloka Krishna said that because of Maya you don't know me. And then he's saying it's not easy to come out of this Maya. And only you can come out when you surrender. Just like, suppose my hands are tied. Now I can only be released of man whose hands are not tied. Correct? So only Krishna, who is independent, who is not tied by any of the material, can untie us. Or his empowered representative, Acharya, who can also untie us. So that is one part. Now another point is that Krishna previously said that there are 8 separated energies and Jiva is higher energy, Param. But this middle energy, even though it is inferior, can tie us because Mama Maya, by Krishna's will. I can give an example, just like an iron is inferior to me, it's a metal energy. I am conscious, I am spiritual energy. But if you make some hatkadi, or what do you call it? Hatkadi in English? Handcuffs. The handcuffs can trap me fully. You can chain my legs, hand, and I can, by will of somebody, it has happened. So by Krishna's will, material energy will tie me down. I can't move. Okay? So Krishna says it is not possible to overcome it. On your own effort, you cannot come out of Maya. You have to take Krishna's shelter. Mama eviye prapadyante. So how does surrender start? Surrender begins by hear. Just hear about Krishna. Krishna will guide you. Always we should be under the guidance of Krishna. Do this, do this. Just like when we are sick. Correct? Doctors get irritated when you are not don't patient, don't listen. Just follow what I am telling you. Why you are imagining all this? Just do what I am telling you. The same way, we should just follow what Krishna is telling. We will be out of it. Surrender to me, you easily cross beyond. But if you think on your own, go this way, that way, you make your own plan, then out. You will not be able to come out. It is very difficult to overcome. And another reason is simple idea we used to give. Suppose you are visiting somebody, you're visiting a friend, and the friend has 4 or 5 dogs in his house. Correct? Then you have to be really worried about it. That's why people are worried about this is Rahu Kala, this Kala, that Kala. In Bangalore, very famous astrologer. Slow down. Okay. It's very difficult to overcome. Now what happens, you go to the house, so many dogs are there, and you are so worried about that. But if you know that man, then it is not very difficult. You just call out his name, correct? We come to your house, big dog is there, I heard. Now, I'm scared to come inside. But if I know you, I'll just give you a call on the mobile. Please, I'm waiting outside. What you will do? You say, you will tell the dog, hey, go somewhere. So similarly, Maya is nothing but Krishna's dog. Correct? And it is controlling you. You can't move. It's so powerful. You are scared. But you just call Krishna. You there? So Krishna has to just make one call to Durga. Leave. And we are delivered. But on your own, you think, I can escape. The Durga is the head of this prison. You can escape this jail. You can't. She's too powerful. So in that way, we can understand. Just you have to surrender to Krishna. Then we can cross over. This is actually this chapter has many famous shlokas. Namam dushkitano muda prapadyante naradama Maya aparhita jnana asurim bhavam If you can actually go the thought flow of Krishna. Krishna is saying, you can surrender to me, you will come out of Maya. First said, Krishna said, because you are in Maya, you don't know me. Then if you surrender, you will know me. We can come over Maya. But these 4 kind of people never surrender. What are the 4 kind of people? Dushkritina. First, their quality, adjective is miscreants. So Krishna doesn't like when you don't surrender to him. He said, you are all miscreants. Just like my finger doesn't follow my order. It is infected, no? It is sick. Correct? It should follow. Therefore, Prabhupada says, Krishna demands surrender. Because it is his finger. Move! And if it doesn't move, you go to doctor. It's not moving. Move! So similarly, Krishna also says surrender. Prabhupada says Krishna is actually demanding. Surrender. Because we are his. It is our business to surrender. Not that, we can say, I have, this last time we read that line, we have no, independent. We have no independence. What was that thing? We have no independent identity. Correct? Last time we said. So similarly, we don't have. We are a Krishna servant. We know the definition. So Krishna is saying these 4 miscreants never surrender. What are they? Number 1 is Muda. Muda means donkey. He does not have time. We tell him, please, 1 round he can chant every day. Please begin somewhere. So 5 minutes you read about Krishna. At least 1 shloka keep reading. Begin something. With surrender you can't suddenly do. It has to gradually pick up. Pick up somewhere you start. So he says 1 parla is Muda. He has no time. Time is there. 20 hours he has an internet to browse. He has 20 hours to watch movies. There was one medical student also. I said, why don't you read Bhagavad Gita chapters? No time is there. I said, do you watch movies? Sir, 1 only every day. 1 only every day. And he doesn't have time to chant. But that is called Muda. Muda means donkey. Donkey means he works whole day and at the end he gets little grass. He is a donkey, idiot. Because finally he has to eat 2 chapatis. He can organize his life in such a way that just because I am earning 100 crore doesn't mean I will eat 100 chapatis. I have to eat 2 chapatis. Muda, he is a foolish fellow. He doesn't organize himself properly. He can't organize himself in a way to keep time for spiritual. Muda. And then Naradama. Naradama, see, first thing we didn't know. What we said, miscreant, nobody says Muda is miscreant. So this is a revelation, for Krishna doesn't like Muda. People nowadays think very great, I am working 20 hours. Krishna says, Muda. Kada. Then Naradama. Naradama means engage in sinful activities. That we all agree. Everybody agrees. Nara Adama, lowest among man. All of us agree that is bad. He will not be able to. They say no, cleanliness is next to godliness. So unless somebody is pure, he can't go to God, obviously. So Naradama, obviously, we also knew will not be able to approach him, not surrender. Because he is so sinful, you can understand his mind is blown. There is in his heart. Because if your heart, God has to come and sit. Heart has to be clean. The heart is dirty by a sinful activity. Krishna will not come and sit, obviously. But Muda also said no. He has no time for it. The next, Maya Aparita Jnana. He is so proud of his knowledge. I know everything. He is too proud. So a proud person in two categories will not be able to understand Krishna. So I know everything. You tell him Krishna is saying, Matashino, hear me. No, I know everything. I don't have to hear Krishna. Correct? Beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, just hear me. No, I know. And Asuri Bhava, he is too envious of the Lord. Asuri. Asuri Bhava is, too much proud of his power. To just hear there is something more powerful than him immediately brings envy in his system. People are so self-centered sometimes. When you go and meet them, you see, sometimes some people, they talk about themselves for hours without even being conscious about it, and we get so irritated. What is this man? Sometimes it has happened. You go to meet some, college you go, you meet some principal or something. And we are hearing, we want some permission from him, and so we are peacefully listening. And that man is talking hours about himself. I did this, I did that. He doesn't even conscious what is he doing. There is two kathas, Krishna katha and Swakatha. Swakatha we should not do. We should always do. Swakatha means my own. Shanvatam Swakatha. Krishna says hear about me, that's fine. But we should not hear about ourselves. That's not good. So Asuri, such kind of people are very envious when you talk about glories of Acharya or glories of Krishna. Oh, what? I can also do it. Asuri. So these people too proud of themselves. These four kind of people never can surrender. So all of us should be conscious. Within me, any of these four are there. That will become obstacle in my complete surrender to Krishna. Muda. Muda means let us organize ourselves and keep more time to hear about Krishna. Naradama, keep sinful activities far away. Krishna will never set you to heart. Maya Aparita Jnana, don't be proud. Namanta Eva, very humbly hear to the great Acharyas and to Krishna. And Asuri, don't be envious of Krishna. Because see, Gita Krishna declares, I am like this, don't be envious. Asuri, don't have this mentality. Yes.
Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me.
Okay, so we understood this. Now Krishna says four kind of people who surrender. Chaturvidha bhajante ma.
Chaturvidha bhajante ma.
Chaturvidha bhajante ma.
Chaturvidha bhajante ma.
Jana sukrituna arjuna.
Jana sukrituna arjuna.
Arto jigyasu artharti.
Arto jigyasu artharti.
Jnani cha bharatarshava.
Jnani cha bharatarshava.
Four kind of people. What are they? Sukriti. Krishna is saying good people. Sukriti means Prabhupada explained the purport. Wherever they are situated, maybe in any part of the world, maybe any religion, they're very cautious to follow the rules, regulations. They live a very pious life. Sukritina. Sukritina means pious people. Dushkritina means impassive. So, Artho, when they are in some problem, they're distressed. When a impious person is in distress, he curses God. He will not surrender, pray to God. But a pious person who is in trouble, oh my Lord, because actually by nature we are all God conscious. So piety doesn't become an obstacle, it rather facilitates. So immediately that person, oh my Lord, can you protect me? I'm in great difficulty. That's the nature. The pious person does that. Impious person will not do it. So pious person, these four kind of people surrender. But when they are pious. Artho means he is in a problem. Jigyasu. Jigyasu means he is inquisitive. That also will surrender finally to Krishna. Because Jigyasa will finally lead to Krishna. Bahunam Dharmanam. Artha, he wants money. I don't have money, I want money, I want money. He will also surrender to Krishna. If he is pious. As Jnani in knowledge. Yes, I know. Okay, so these are 4 kind of people who can surrender to Krishna.
O best among Bhartas, Arjuna, 4 kinds of pious men render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute.
Okay, these 4 people.
Of these, the wise one who is in full knowledge, in union with me through pure devotional service is the best. For I am very dear to him and he is dear to me.
Okay. Why? Because the person who come out of this problem, when the problem is solved, they run away. Therefore, many times we say, you chant Hare Krishna. If you don't read, you will not chant. You have seen. Many people start chanting Hare Krishna, but they stop. Because unless you read, the knowledge is not there. Why I am chanting? Then he will not chant. He will stop. So therefore, knowledge is also needed. And the person in knowledge, when he understands, yes, I am a servant of Krishna, his surrender, he will not go. He will not go. But other people may go. Therefore, he is considered highest. And also, he is offering pure devotion service. Just like I am chanting Hare Krishna. If I know why I am chanting Hare Krishna, then I chant very carefully. I chant very nicely. So the quality of service is wonderful. When I don't know, simply I am doing, it will be done neglectfully. That service will not be very good.
All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider very little blame in me. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he attains me.
So Krishna is re-emphasizing the person in knowledge who surrenders to me is the highest. Mataji, your mic is keep it on. The reason is rain sound is there. This is another famous shloka. Bahunam janmanamante Jnanavan mam prapadyate Vasudeva sarvamati Paramatma sudurlabha. Now here it is said Bahunam. After many births, Jnanavan, man is full knowledge, will surrender to the Prapadyate. Correct? And what do they declare? What you will declare? Vasudeva Sarvamati. Krishna is everything. Samahatma Sudurlabha. Krishna is saying such people are so rare. So it's not generally a one birth exercise. Many births it takes. But it is true, Prabhupada wanted in one life itself we should go back. That is Prabhupada's desire. That Prabhupada wanted us to see it. I told last time also. The next life we don't know what we do. But today opportunity is there, let us surrender to Krishna. Okay? And anyway Prabhupada says when you are going to surrender after many births, why don't you surrender now? Why don't you surrender now? Why you want to wait for many births? When you come to God with information that after many births, those who are seeking knowledge, who Jnanavan, okay, for this knowledge, they surrender to me. Why don't surrender now? Then I am going to do it after many births and save all the trouble. And what the conclusion will come? Vasudeva Sarvamati. Krishna is everything. Such people, Krishna is saying, are very Durlabha means rare. Sudurlabha is very rare. So person who surrenders to me, Krishna is saying is very rare. And Prabhupada is saying here, Samahatma. Look at this, Krishna is used. If you surrender to Krishna, Krishna is calling you what? Otherwise, if you don't surrender, it says Duratma. So you have our choice, to surrender or not surrender. Kamastaste hidajnana Pravadyante anyadevataha Tam tam niyamamastaya Prakritya niyata swaya. So now Krishna told how to surrender to him, but now he's saying something interesting. He says people who have stolen the material desires, Kamastaste hidajnana. Hita means heart is stolen the material desire. Prapadyante anya devata. They don't surrender to me. They go from here and there. Krishna is not recommending surrender to anything except himself. Why? Because mind is stolen of material desires. Therefore they go. And tam niyamam astaya, and they follow the rules and regulations. Just like you want to worship any devata, there are some rules and regulations. They follow what that. And that's what is happening. Yeah.
Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigod and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures.
So somebody may say, why is Krishna is saying so? I am very devoted to Devi, I am very devoted to Shiva. Krishna is saying not possible. Because they can't give you any spiritual benefit. You have to do it for some purpose. I am doing Devi Puja. Some purpose is there. It cannot be done without purpose. Spiritual purpose cannot exist because Devi cannot give any spiritual benefit. That only Krishna can. So if you are going, it has to be material motive. Therefore Krishna is saying people with material motives go to the Devi. It's a very revolutionary statement. I think generally people don't know in India. Correct? General Hindu Dharma means today do anything, go anywhere. But Krishna is condemning actually. It's not that he's banning, but he's not recommending. He's not saying it is banned. No. But Krishna is saying it is not recommendation. Right? There is no need. Huh? Yeah, next shloka.
I am in everyone's heart as a super soul. As soon as one desires to worship the demigods, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to some particular reason.
You see what happened? Jiva and the Devata, both are Jivas only. We and the Devata is also one Jiva. It's a post actually. Just like you become chief minister, it's a post. You can become Indra, you can get big post. Now you have no power to even communicate with the Jiva. Krishna is the one who facilitates everything. You can't even know, I sit and here pray to Ganesha. Ganesha cannot know. How he comes to know you are praying to him? He's the Jiva. Krishna facilitates. And not only that, even faith he gives. You want a material thing, you want a good health, worship Surya. Krishna will get that. That he gives it faith. You are interested in material things, what can be done? But if you are fortunate, you made a pure devotee, even though material things go to Krishna, doesn't matter. That will be the best. Krishna can provide that. There is no need actually there. So Krishna makes his face steady. He makes a face steady. He is involved everywhere. So he becomes devoted to that particular deity. So it has to be sanctioned by Krishna. Then what happens next?
Endowed with such a faith, he seeks favors of a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone.
Mayeva bhitam hi etan. Last line. Mayeva bhitan hi etan. I only give. Then what's the need? What's the need? Now you suppose you go to some office. Okay? You go to some. I only go to colleges. You go to some college. And you have to get some permission. Okay? Now you go to Chaprasi and keep giving application, everything. Finally, the signature is coming from the main man. Why don't I directly go to him? What is the use of wasting my time with that fellow? So not only the Devata fulfills that he can't do independently. Not a blade of grass moves without Krishna's sanction. Then you say, why does Krishna sanction my going to Devata? Because that's what I want. But happily he'll sanction surrender to himself. Very happily Krishna will sanction. Now some people say that I killed somebody today. God only made me do it. True, without Krishna's sanction you could not have killed him. But you forced him to sanction something simple. It's like a child says, I want to burn my hand. Father says, don't do it. I want to do. What can I do? Learn like that. So that, and you may say that why somebody was killed? Because the simple activity was there at that time, waiting. He had to die. And you were facilitated to do it. And that's very magical how Krishna does it. You know, sometimes accident happens, somebody dies, somebody's only leg is broken, nothing happens. It's because somebody's karma was not there at that time. So Krishna is saying here very clearly, best to that. And the next is a very famous shloka. Antavantu phalam tesha bhavati alpam edasa devan deva yajoyanti madhbhaktayanti mamapi. Now Krishna concludes the Devata worship. Antavantu phalam tesha. Even the benefits that you get, that is I am only giving, but the benefits are temporary. Dhanam Dehi, Putram Dehi, Rupam Dehi, that's why I pray to the Devi. Yeah, these are temporary benefits. Dhana, Rupa will go one day. Anta Banta, Krishna is saying they are temporary. Tadabhavati alpamedasam. And who goes for that? Oh, Meda. Meda means buddhi. Sumedasam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who surrenders? Sumedasam. What is the shloka? Yagnaya Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Sumedasam. Who takes up Krishna? If you are chanting Hare Krishna, it is said Sumedasam. You are very intelligent. And if you are worshipping Devatas, you are called Alpamedasam. You are not into Krishna. Who has to decide? Krishna. Supreme Personality. He is making a certificate. You get certificate A grade, B grade. So Krishna is saying D grade. Alpamedasam. Deva Deva Yajo Yanti. And you will achieve the Devatas if you worship them. Madhbhakta Yanti Mamapi. And if you worship me, you can come back to Vaikuntha. You are so fortunate. Next. 6 more. Yeah. Avyaktam Vyaktimapannam Manyate Mama Buddhaya Param Bhavam Ajaranto Amavayam Anuttamam. Now Krishna explained one category of people who don't surrender to him. The whole topic is surrender to him. That was what? The Devata worshippers. Buddhus. And Krishna is saying, these people also Buddhu. Buddha I mean Buddhu. One more category of Buddhus. One category Devata worshipper. Another category of Buddhus is impersonalist. Avyaktam Bhakti Mahapanam. And they always say that. They say finally God does not have any form, impersonal. Vyakti Mahapannam, he has taken form in this world. We never say that. We say Krishna is in Vaikuntha playing and he manifests himself in the original spiritual form. But they say no. God is impersonal and he has taken form in this world. Avyakta, Vyakti Mahapannam. Avyakta has become Vyakti. Manyate Mama Buddhaya. This kind of conclusion is from Abuddhaya. Don't have any brain. Param Bhavam Ajananta. They don't know my supreme transcendental nature. Mama Vayam Anuttamam. I am inexhaustible. And I am the topmost, finest. These fools don't know. So Krishna is now described two kind of fools here. Yeah.
Unintelligent men who know me not think that I have assumed this form and personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is changeless and supreme.
3 more. Nam Prakash Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavitaha Mudo Yamana Vijanati Yoko Mama Jamabhyam.
I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my eternal creative potency, Yogamaya. And so the deluded world knows me not, who am unborn and infallible.
So Krishna is saying, I am covered by my energy. If these two kind of people, Devata worship impersonalists cannot. It's not possible. So basically, Krishna's energies, Krishna is so sweet. But this if these people who are full of material desires, they will only take advantage of Krishna. So his own energy protects him. It's like a bodyguard. They don't allow a person who is not serious to serve Krishna to come in his presence. Correct? Unless you are fire, you cannot enter sun. You will burn. If you are fire, then it is fire. Similarly, when you are pure, you are Brahman, completely pure, we can enter Vaikuntha and associate with Krishna. So because you will spoil Krishna's pastime, there is another way. So Mudo Ayam Anaya Janaki. These fools cannot understand me because I am hidden by my own energies. Krishna's energies don't allow a nonsense to enter into Krishna's presence. Okay? Just like a big man is there, his bodyguards don't allow anybody to just jump in there because he will simply create nuisance. Correct? They see who is coming to meet him. So the Krishna's energies also, finally everything is personal. They don't allow somebody to come. Another way to say Yoga Maya Samavrita is that Krishna's effulgence, even when Krishna comes, just like in Ishopanishad it is said. What is the shloka? So he says, your effulgence, my Lord, please allow me to see your face. Because Krishna is so effulgent, you can't see. Effulgence will not allow you to see. Just like if sun is in front of you, then your eyes become blind. When a car is coming, a light is on your face, you can't see anything at that time. So Krishna, the effulgence is so bright, you can't see. So Krishna has to remove that. That is his choice. So he will not do that unless you come in the right way. Yeah.
O Arjuna, as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows.
Just like from the eyes, I can see the hand, but hand cannot see the eyes. So Krishna is seeing everything, and he's saying, I know everybody. But you know what a dilemma for Krishna. He said, I know everybody. Not only I know them from past. You know, he knows everybody very well. But unfortunate thing is, nobody knows me. He said, in the middle, nobody knows me. Yeah. Why do they not know? It's a shloka. Ichhadesha samuddhena dvandamohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa.
O sire of Bharata, Arjuna, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, overcome with the dualities of desire and hate.
Because of these two things, we can't know Krishna. We have a desire to enjoy like Krishna. We hate his supreme position. Therefore, Maya is covering us. Because of that Ichha Dvesha, we are separated from Krishna. We want to enjoy like Krishna. That is our disease. Yesham tu antagatam papam janana punya karmana te dvandamo nirmukta bhajanti mam nirāvita. So antagata, whose heart are fully pure, all papa is over in their life, they don't know any papa. Birth after birth, they are doing only pious activity. And when they become free from all the dvanda in this world. Dvanda means, when you come to spiritual platform, we become indifferent to heat, cold, honor, dishonor. These are all dvanda of this world. Dvanda means heat, cold. You become free from this, then you worship me with full determination. Rada Vrataha, full determination. Yeah.
Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental and critical activities.
So we know we should be all aware. In fact, I was telling medical people should do this. Just collect the problems in old age and death. So it is very easy because there are real problems. Real problems are there. And people are completely unaware. True? Doctors know about it. What are the kind of problems? How does the body basically break down? If you can, just get me some notes on that. It's very nice. Prabhupada should say we should discuss these problems. Because we should come to reality, we become very sane then. So old age and that we are warned, they want liberation. I don't want, my God, that kind of problem. That's very nice. They have take only way to come out of it is devotion service. Take to devotion service. Because you will not see it again. And even what you see in this life, you will not be affected. Because you are in Krishna consciousness. Okay? They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental fruity. Why they are Brahman? Because they come to spiritual platform, because of devotion service. The last shloka.
Those who know me as a Supreme Lord, as a governing principle of the material manifestation, who know me as the one underlying all the demigods, and as the one sustaining all sacrifices, can with steadfast mind understand and know me even at the time of death.
So Krishna has now summarized the whole chapter here. Therefore, even at the time of death, because of all this, we can surrender to me. Now, next chapter is on what happens at the point of death. Different ways you can leave this world. That will be the 8th chapter, which you do next time. Prabhupada's one line. This 7th chapter particularly explains how one can become a fully Krishna conscious person. Prabhupada is saying here, he simply directly engages himself in activities of Krishna consciousness and thereby practically attains his constitutional position as the eternal servant of the Lord Krishna. In such a situation, he takes pleasure in hearing and glorifying the Supreme Lord in pure devotional service. He is convinced that by doing so, all his objectives will be fulfilled. This determined faith is called Dhridavrata. Bhajante Mam Dhridavrata. It's taken from the 28th shloka. And it is the beginning of Bhakti Yoga, or transcendental loving service. That is the verdict of all scripture. This 7th chapter of Gita is the substance of that scripture. Srila Prabhupada ki, Bhagavad Gita ki.